Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I will discuss the 2021 action and fantasy Netflix series, Ragnarok. Without further ado, let's get started. When an awkward teenager, Magne, returns to his family's homeland, he learns about his weird new abilities. However, Hamlet's scenic beauty hides sinister depths, where people are compelled to adapt to climate change. Intense weather circumstances include the unforeseen rate of ice cap melting, prolonged droughts, hot winters, and increased frequency of extreme cold snaps. The world is changing like we are moving towards a new Ragnarok unless a timely intervention is made. It begins with Magne and Loridus, two teenage brothers driving back to their hometown, Edda, Norway, with their mother, Turid. Seeing an older man with an eye patch named Wotan facing a problem with his bike, Magne gets out of the car to help him cross the street. Wotan is then accompanied by a strange older woman, Wenche, who praises Magne for his kindness and later approaches her hand to his forehead, causing thunderbolts to appear in his eyes, along with strange heavy voices. Magne predicts it will rain back in the car, but his mother responds that the forecast promised nice weather the whole day. As she finishes her talk, heavy rain starts to pour, shocking Magne. The brothers arrive at their new home, where the rain has stopped. As Magne leaves the car, he notices another strange man standing beside the pole. He smiles politely and takes the boxes to unload, where he sees a pamphlet about cleaning Edda's environment. In Edda Secondary School, Magne and Loridus are introduced to the class by their teacher, Eric, who then informs the class that the brothers are not twins yet in the same class. Talking about themselves, Loridus says that he skipped a few classes, while Magne turns out to be dyslexic. Both of them are instructed to be seated, where Loridus finds a place near Gry, and Magne sits next to Isolde at the back. After settling down the brothers, Eric starts lecturing about Norse gods, and gives a fair amount of background information about Ragnarok, the last battle between the gods and the giants. The balance of the world depended on the struggle between them. The gods were betrayed and died, and no one knows what happened with the giants. Gry explains that Edda was the last town in Norway to become Christian and to give up faith in Norse gods. And this was the place where the Ragnarok happened. While Magne and Isolde sit in the cafeteria, Fjord approaches and mocks Isolde for his struggle to eliminate plastic from the environment. As he leaves, Isolde tells Magne about the famous siblings in the school, Fjord and Saxa Jutul, who are also kids of the principal of the school, Rana, their English teacher. Answering what she does, Isolde tells Magne about her YouTube channel, which swirls around saving the environment. The school ends, but before leaving, Magne notices Isolde trying to fix her bike, which some bullies bent. Magne decides to help her, but the two are shocked as he repairs the bicycle with his bare hands. Magne feels a strange strength that has influenced his body and eyes. The following day, the class teacher assigns a project about individuality and authority to the class, and divides them into groups, with Magne, Gry, and Isolde in one team. Later, discussing the project, the trio decides to cover topics on community and local industry to disclose industries trying to sell reality that isn't real. Magne and Isolde discuss and adore the title, however, Gry appears rude throughout their conversation. To proceed with their project, Gry assigns Magne to write a paragraph from his perspective, to which he agrees. In the parents-teacher meeting, Turid explains Magne's condition to Ron, that how he started acting weird after his father's tragic death when he was 6 years old. Turid informs her of Magne's bad temper, especially when he feels he is being mistreated. Magne suspects a danger as they talk, and instructs them to shut the window. Just then, the window closes violently, breaking the glass. At the gas station, Turid meets her old friend, Vidar, Ron's husband, who later offers her help if she needs any. However, Vidar looks suspicious as he returns to his strange home, and searches for the news of Turid's husband's death. Things get weirder when he reaches to his kids in the bathroom and orders them to keep an eye on Magne. At home, Magne talks emotionally about his late father, but Loridus seems unaffected, as he was too young when the tragic incident happened. After having dinner and washing the dishes, Magne requests his brother to go through the paragraphs he has written for the project. Loridus agrees to help him only if he does the dishes for him. In the school, the brats are chatting about going to Oscars for Saturday night, while teasing Isolde about plastic. Later, Magne shows Gry his work, but it turns out that Loridus has changed the wording before passing it on to Magne. Forgetting what happened, Magne opens Isolde's YouTube channel to get ideas for his essay about the government. The following day, after writing, he delivers the assigned work to Gry so she can proceed with their project. Isolde accompanies him back home and invites him to go grocery shopping with her. Before entering the store, Magne witnesses Wotan, who states that it is good that he has come, confusing Magne. The cashier is the old lady, Wenche, who warns Magne of the spring equinox as it is dangerous on the mountain. She continues, saying that Magne might well be needed. Isolde claims Magne not to care about Wenche, and later extends an invitation to visit her home. Arriving at Isolde's house, Magne learns that his teacher, Mr. Eric, is Isolde's father. After the dinner, Isolde invites Magne to visit the mountain on Saturday, where they will paraglide and enjoy nature's beauty, which is sadly vanishing due to the melting of glaciers. She explains how the water is polluting, engulfing people by causing diseases like cancer, which also killed her mother. Before leaving her home, Magne accidentally learns that Isolde is a lesbian and has a crush on Saxa. However, she restricts him from telling anyone about this. Magne invites the group to join him in the mountains the next day in school. Meanwhile, Fjord interrupts him and makes a plan to stay at their home for the weekend. Fjord reveals that the glacier part of the mountain belongs to their family, where they have the freedom to roam. However, they avoid going there because of the increasing landscaping. The siblings warn him about the mountain's danger and advise him to be careful. At the dinner table with his family, Magne informs his mother about going to the mountain with his friend Isolde. Turid seems happy that he has a friend, but Loridus cuts the conversation by saying there is no need to be excited, as Isolde is a lesbian. When Turid asks Magne about his glasses, Loridus again annoys him by stating that he is doing this to impress Gry. However, Magne denies Loridus' claims. The next day, Magne and Isolde head their way to the mountain. Meanwhile, Isolde shares her plans about leaving Weird Edda and studying abroad. She wants Magne to accompany her, but he says he has promised her mother to stay here. As they are hiking, they come across a warning sign. However, according to Isolde, the sign wasn't here last week. She blames Jutuls for hanging signs everywhere to show they own the mountain. Magne swaps the conversation and advises Isolde to stop loving Saxa, as Isolde is way too good for her. As he jumps on the bridge to get to the other side of the mountain, Magne receives a message from his brother stating that something happened with their mother and he needs his help. Before he can call, the phone's battery dies, making Magne leave the mountain. Isolde calms him down and instructs him to go immediately, saying she will fly down by herself and meet him there. As he leaves, we see Vidar stripping off and stalking animals in the nearby fjords as Magne. On the other hand, Isolde clicks photographs of melting glaciers and takes the water sample to test whether it's causing diseases. As she is taking the pictures, she notices an ice cave and rushes there so she can find something suspicious. She discovers a weird bunker with a sign advertising Jutul Industries on its front where entry is forbidden, also depicting a lethal danger sign. While she visits the bunker, we see a naked Vidar devouring animal head, which doesn't seem normal. Magne reaches home and sees his mother perfectly alright, cleaning the house and setting new curtains. It turns out that Loridus made up the story just to annoy his brother and ruin his trip to the mountain. Infuriated, Magne leaves the house and witnesses Isolde paragliding. As she is about to land, Isolde strikes into electric cords, resulting in her painful demise. Vidar arrives on the spot and tries to give her CPR, but doesn't respond. Later that day, Magne comes home in complete shock and sorrow. It ends with a furious and broken Magne lifting the hammer and throwing it far away in the sky, causing electric thunders and power surges in the whole town.